Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Mitch. Good Sunday morning to you all. Hope you guys are feeling well out there. I know I am. I don't know, just woke up on the right side of the bed this morning, so I'm feeling great. Hopefully, you are too. Hopefully, you all have had a great weekend as we're rounding it off here. I've got you an update on what's going to happen specifically for today and try to keep you guys updated. Towards the end of the video, we'll give you a brief update on what's going on with this another quick moving system that will deliver some snow potentially all the way from Oklahoma, all the way to potentially to Maine. We'll give you more of an update on the Northeast a little bit later tonight where we can get much more detail, but we'll give you an update on the kind of the beginning stages of the storm, which is for places like Oklahoma and Arkansas, southern areas of Missouri that could see some snow into tomorrow. So this will be the second round of snow for a lot of folks with this. So pretty active November starting up, and then stay tuned for tonight. We'll get you an update on just a lot of energy flying around and see if areas maybe a little bit further south can manage some winter weather. But I can tell you there is snow flying around pretty far south this morning, not really accumulating outside the mountains, but certain areas in the North Carolina mountains certainly are seeing a little bit of accumulating snow, and Tennessee. So if you guys have not subscribed, definitely consider doing that. Like the video if you like it. And guys, winter's coming. I know I keep saying this, but this is my favorite thing to talk about is snow, just winter weather in general. Ice, I know people hate ice, but I like talking about it all. I really do when it comes to winter weather. So hit me up on Twitter, Facebook, great way to follow along. If you guys got anything I can pray about, pray over, please put it in the comments below. It gives me an opportunity to pray over it, and it gives others an opportunity to do so too. So it's been a great week getting back on track, being able to pump out consistent videos again. It took a while to get going from Monday all the way to now. Each day got better. So I really appreciate the thoughts and prayers. Family's finally feeling healthy. I'm feeling healthy, and we're getting there. So freeze warnings for all these purple counties down here. It's cold out there, guys. It really is. I'm going to find a way to each morning get a way to look at the current conditions temperature-wise. There's plenty of sites that offer it, but you got to pay for them. So I got to figure out the best site to do. And just to give you all current temperatures out there, I feel like that'll be a great addition to the morning videos, just to show where everybody's at temperature-wise. But I can tell you freezing temperatures all the way down to the Gulf states. And it's very cold out there. I went to sleep and it was in the 60s outside. Woke up this morning here in central South Carolina, and you can tell winter's back in the air. And it's just going to be a nice winter pattern. I say nice, but that's not nice for everybody. I got to stop saying that because I know not everybody's like me. But it's going to be a winter-like pattern. Early winter-like pattern for a lot of folks, and downright freezing for a lot of areas. So let's break it down region to region. We'll talk about a couple areas, including the Northeast, which will be quite wintry today. Areas of the Ohio Valley and certainly the Great Lakes regions are just going to have lake effect snow that will be popping off pretty much all day today, and will continue from overnight last night and yesterday. But we have some northwest flow as far south as the North Carolina, Tennessee mountains this morning. You can't really see it on radar. In fact, I'll switch it to radar right now. You can't see it, but oh man, I hate that those icons went away. But you had some snow reports down into Boone, even a snow report into Asheville. I follow a lady on Twitter. She had a dusting of snow up in Blowing Rock, and then my guy up here in this microclimate, I believe he lives right around this area somewhere, but he basically lives about 4,500 feet up in the air, and he just literally has a microclimate, which means he has his own weather compared to other elevations. And when you live in an elevated area, say if you're in the mountains and you look up and you see a house way up on top of a mountain, that person probably has a microclimate. He's probably colder than others, probably deals with inversions, probably gets more snow than more people. But if you look really close, right here, you can see, it's going to be hard to see on your screen, but you can see some light blue moving around in here. Don't look at this right here. This is just kind of radar scud. But this is just some shallow moisture with the northwest flow. And you have, snow reports all the way as far south as the North Carolina, Tennessee mountains. I've also heard from the National Weather Service in Huntsville that there's been some snow, some flurries, some light drizzle, which it's below freezing in these areas, so it's most likely some flurries flying around here from Nashville to Huntsville. So if you live in that area, I'd be very interested to see if y'all are actually seeing that. But those are legit reports, so just very shallow moisture that you can't really see on radar. But the southeast today in general, flurries and snow showers will continue to fly around the higher elevations of West Virginia. Maybe even some flurry action in northeast areas of Kentucky. This will probably diminish, maybe pick up some a little bit later this afternoon. But in general, nothing widespread. The only area you watch out for is Orlando Point South, where the front has not cleared. Maybe some showers, some storms might pop off a little bit later today. But other than that, quiet, cooling off kind of day. You know, a lot of areas along the eastern shorelines of the Carolinas are waking up to the 60s this morning, and your temperatures will actually drop throughout the day. You look at the Northeast today, and the front's kind of clearing for you guys too, and you're dealing with some showers. You're going to be dealing with some showers for southern New England, even Maine today. Some areas that might be seeing a little rain in Maine earlier this morning could be snowing a little bit later this evening and overnight. But, some heavy rain can move into these areas. At the same time, you got the lake effect snows popping off Lake Erie. And I really think really south of Buffalo down to Erie, there's going to be an area right down here in the far western corner of New York State that could give maybe several inches of snow today. But some of these snow showers could break containment from these lake effect snow energy and make it, who knows, maybe all the way to Scranton. It might make it all the way to the eastern parts of the state of Pennsylvania. You certainly could get a streamer to make it all the way to Binghamton, New York State. So it's certainly possible. Some of these little squalls that move through could cause maybe brief whiteout conditions. But what's interesting is this rain today in Maine, as the cold air links up, changes to some heavy snow potential. And several inches could fall up here in the northern sections of Maine and western sections of Maine. So abruptly switches from rain to snow, and you're back to winter. And a winter pattern really locks in. But as you can tell, some of these streamers are breaking containment, and really could be just a snowy day across these areas right here along the Great Lakes right here. So certainly expected with a cold air mass moving over just relatively still warm waters. It's still November. But, lake effect snow can happen all the way until if the Great Lakes freeze. And sometimes they don't. But the more shallower the lakes, the easier they freeze. So a lot of time Erie freezes, things like that. So we have to you say watch it, but it's just something to always observe as you get later in the winter. Do the Great Lakes freeze? And when they freeze, the lake effect snow kind of cuts off. And if they don't, then lake effect snow could last all winter. But this is snow expected from the National Weather Service. It really likes this area south of Buffalo to really pick up anywhere from 2 to 4, 5, maybe as much as 6 inches of snow. Erie, maybe a couple inches of snow. But if you notice this little streamer right here, definitely popping off here. So we certainly need to, just if you're a snow fan, you're certainly going to enjoy this, that's for sure. But I certainly think you're going to see a little streamer coming off Lake Ontario right here. Maybe Rochester, New York could see maybe a little bit of accumulating snow. But this up here is from that system, like I said, where the rain turns to snow and several inches of snow is possible, especially in the northern sections of Maine. But Ontario, Erie, snow popping off these lakes today, certainly. And it all just depends on that directional flow. With the air mass, that really depicts on what kind of flow you're going to come off these Great Lakes. And right now, it's more so like a flow from, in general, the west-northwest to the east-southeast with this flow. But this will shift a little bit as the air mass shifts, as high pressure shifts, and the directional flow around high pressure shifts. So a little bit closer with this. This is the National Weather Service. A few inches possible south of Buffalo. More than a few inches is certainly possible, maybe up to as much as 6 inches of snow. And, it could be one of those days where your house hardly gets nothing, but maybe 30 minutes down the road gets accumulating snow. So this happens a lot with these with the Great Lakes and basically the, I keep brain farting, the lake effect snow. So definitely a snowy day for these sections right here. We continue to move forward here. We look at the south central U.S., and a pretty quiet day for the most part, but then the beginning stages of the system starts to kick up tomorrow morning, and then I really think tomorrow could be a wintry day for the panhandle of Texas, Oklahoma, and this will eventually shift into sections of Oklahoma throughout the day tomorrow. We'll talk a little bit more about this tonight, but latest HRRR model has this rain snow line, making it actually south of the Oklahoma-Texas state line, not as far south all the way to Texas for you. I'm sorry, to Dallas-Fort Worth area for you folks down here, but I really think, honestly, the heaviest snow for Oklahoma could fall south of Oklahoma City. There could be a band of heavy snow that sets up tomorrow in this area right here. But, for the duration of the HRRR model, throw some snow tomorrow evening into northwest Arkansas and basically all of the state of Missouri, areas of Kansas, and we'll see how this happens tomorrow. But we'll get much more detail on that tonight. The north-central U.S., you check this out. The lake effect snow machine kicking here off Erie. I'm sorry, not off Erie, Lake Michigan, Superior. This will continue. So the UP in Michigan will continue to get snow streamers off Superior. And basically, if you're in the extreme eastern counties, western counties of Michigan, heavy snow squalls throughout the day with this lake effect snow off Lake Michigan. But, it's pretty much expected. This isn't super uncommon for these areas. A lot of times I don't even issue many advisories or warnings with this. And then we'll watch as this northern piece of energy tries to connect with the southern piece of energy. So you'll have a round of snow that develops overnight, and North Dakota kind of drifts into Minnesota into the wee hours of the morning tonight, and then you might wake up to some snow falling in Minneapolis. But we'll watch that. Maybe we'll talk a little bit more on that tonight. But snowfall today between right now and tomorrow morning. A few more inches of snow is possible. Same situation for these western counties in Michigan. But one thing you'll watch for is you actually look at the national blend of all models. It's a lot more aggressive with the snow. And sometimes I buy that with these lake effect snow situations. So the National Weather Service, a little bit more conservative than the blend of all models. But I definitely think, obviously if you border the eastern coastline of Lake Michigan today in these western counties of Michigan, you certainly could pop up, get 2 to as much as 6 inches of snow. Same thing with the UP of Michigan. It just depends on where these streamers set up. So temperatures today, very chilly day for the entire eastern and central U.S. Texas, Oklahoma warming up a little bit up to Kansas, maybe the 50s. But, temperatures will struggle in the deep south to get out the 40s. Certain areas will be quite chilly where cloud cover just kind of retains itself. The temperatures will actually drop in certain sections of the Carolinas today, but 50s for the Carolinas, Georgia. Very chilly day for northern Florida, but in southern Florida, where the front hasn't cleared, you'll warm well into the 70s and potentially some 80s. Ohio Valley, Mid-South, maybe locked into the 30s today, and then the Northeast, very chilly. 30s and 40s. Certain areas in the mountainous areas, the higher elevations will not get above freezing today. Great Lakes, low 30s, freezing temperatures. And then the northern plains and north central U.S., you won't get above freezing today. So very cold temperatures. Energy flying around everywhere, guys. We'll kind of give you a teaser, I guess you could call it, of what we're going to talk about tonight. But here comes this system right here, going to dump snow in Oklahoma tomorrow, and then into Arkansas, really just northern sections of Arkansas, and then into Missouri overnight tomorrow night into Tuesday morning. And then the system on the northern part of this just kind of gets split up here. And then you're going to have some snow, Iowa, Illinois, Wisconsin, Minnesota potentially. And then the low pressure tries to get going again off the coast of the mid-Atlantic and the Northeast with still snowing in these sections. Just a wintry weekend this weekend and start to your week up here. Low pressure tries to strengthen, and what's going to happen here, and I can tell you the Europeans a little bit more aggressive, is snow is going to try to fall in the interior areas of the Northeast, and this could be a pretty decent winter storm even for you guys standards for mid-November. So we'll watch this. We'll give you an update on this tonight, but even more snow for Maine, and then just a little bit, obviously with colder air in place up here, a little bit more snow a little bit further south for these sections in the Northeast. And then it's going to fire off the Great Lakes snow machine again with these lake effect snow. And then, like I said, man, it's just going to be a wintry week ahead for the Ohio Valley. I know a lot of people have this tradition of setting up your Christmas tree around Thanksgiving. I ain't gonna lie, guys. I already have my Christmas tree up. Haven't put up the outside decorations up, but it's already began for me. We put it up pretty early. I know a lot of people's like, well, you got to respect Thanksgiving, but I grew up on the tradition of putting up your Christmas tree right after Thanksgiving dinner, and it's a really cool tradition, and I really like it, to be honest. But to me, we just, as I started my own family, my own traditions, I put it up like a week after Halloween. And it just extends the Christmas season for me. And I think Thanksgiving is part of the Christmas season. So, but anyways, don't let me get off on that. But just a wintry week for the Great Lakes, the Ohio Valley. I mean, even for the South, I mean, it's just going to be cold. The lake effect snow is going to be kicking almost all week. And just a cold pattern. And we're continuing to watch this system down here. And we'll get much more detail on this tonight. The GFS wants to pop off more snow in areas of Texas, maybe even Oklahoma, but this system is still suppressed. It actually is following the Euro a little bit now. And you got some cold air nearby. We'll watch this. Big low pressure pops off here. You can see on the far northern fringe of this precipitation shield a little bit of snow. But I can tell you the GFS followed the European. And then, we got a lot to talk about. So stay tuned tonight. We'll give you the latest and greatest information. Really quick update on the snow potential for Oklahoma. National Weather Service saying it's like in this band that the HRRR model showing Oklahoma City right into here. But if you live just west of Oklahoma City, maybe south, maybe 2 to 3 inches of snow is certainly possible. You look at the blend of all models for this section, and it kind of follows the National Weather Service. It really does. It's not very far off. You look at Arkansas. Maybe as much as an inch of snow if you're in Fayetteville, Arkansas. You guys saw snow, yesterday, last night, not last night, but the night before last, to the point where it dropped to dusting, very cold, and could see another maybe an inch of snow with this system coming up. And then you look up in here, up in Missouri, and this could, St. Louis, maybe some snow, but I know St. Louis kind of got robbed from that snow event that just happened over the last 24 to 36 hours. Sections of the city at points east got 4 to 6 inches of snow from that event. But this might be a system where just north of the city gets the most snow, maybe 1 to 2 inches of snow. So we'll get much more detail on this tonight, guys. But stay with me. I love talking snow, and we'll figure this all out. You guys have a great Sunday.